When I ran away from home to join the circus, the only thing I brought with me was a bakery box stuffed with kittens. I was 5. I'd never left the neighborhood. I wasn't particularly unhappy at home. I'd never thought about running away from home. But I had this friend. She was a year older, 6, so, sophisticated. She brought it up, and it sounded good, right? The circus. So I was like, okay. So we hatched a plan. And when I say we hatched a plan, I mean, she said, meet me on the corner Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Okay. The thing was, our cat, Guinevere, had recently had a litter of kittens. And when I got up that morning and started to get ready, I really did not want to leave those kittens behind. So I grab a box off the kitchen counter that I think it had like donuts or pastry in it, and I start stuffing the kittens into the box. Close up the box. That's it. I take off. Meet my friend at the corner. We start walking. I have no idea where we're going. I am following my friend, and we are running away to join the circus. So we walk for a while. We eventually get to kind of a busy intersection. She stops, and there's this big chain link fence, and inside the fence, there's this oval track, and then behind the track, there are these buildings. No evidence of circus in the buildings, no elephants or clowns, but there is a guy on the track, and he's got a horse, and he's got a buggy. And we think, oh, okay, that's kind of close, right? So he's exercising this horse and buggy. He's going around and around the track, and we're thinking, all right, so we press ourselves kind of up against the chain link fence, and every time he comes where we are, we wave. We're here to join the circus. We're here to join the circus. We do that for a while. He does not stop. He nods at us a couple times maybe, but there is no employment offer forthcoming. I'm getting tired. I realize that I'm pretty hungry. So I look at my friend and I'm like, could we get something to eat? And she looks at me and she bursts into tears. And then she runs away. She's gone. She's gone. So I'm standing there. I have no fucking idea where I am. I'm 5 years old. So I take stock. I notice there is a police officer nearby. And I remember reading in a book, I think, that in certain circumstances, a police officer might be helpful. So I walk up to him and I say, could you bring me home? And he just looks at me, opens up the back door of the cruiser. I get into the cruiser. As soon as I get in the car, the kittens explode out of the box. They're climbing on the mesh wire and on the back seat behind me. And the cop is looking at me in the rearview mirror, impassive. And he says, he asked me where I live. I give him my address, which I knew, by the way. And he drives me home. So we get home, we get out of the car, we walk up the steps. He knocks on my front door. And my mother comes to the door, and she's in her bathrobe. She did not know I was gone. She looks at me, and she just sort of opens the screen door just enough for me to slide in behind her. I go inside the house. She and the cop are standing there on the porch having a conversation. I should probably mention that my parents were not very fond of police officers. I go inside. She comes back in. She doesn't say a word to me. She goes back to bed. But my brother, who was 14 at the time, he'd been there. He was watching the whole time. And he says to me, "Next time, Amy, leave the kittens."